So, dear students, let us start with our second operation, next operation, the grinding operation. See, the most common grinding operation is the surface grinding operation, uh, having some similarity with the up milling process. You can see here the diagram. This is the grinding wheel, okay, and this is the workpiece. See the direction of rotation of this grinding wheel in clockwise manner, and in front of that the workpiece is being fed, okay. So this is similar to the upmilling process. We have already seen the upmilling process, that is the cutter rotation and the feed to the workpiece in the opposite direction, like that only, okay. So it's like a upmilling process or operation, except that cutting points are irregularly shaped and randomly oriented. See here, many cutting points, single point cutting tools, rather you can say number of cutting tools are taking the part in the cutting process, okay. And how are they are irregular in shape and randomly oriented. This is the main thing. This is a grinding operation. So here we are having this grinding wheel. On this grinding wheel the grains are there, and each grain is behaving like a single point cutting tool and participate in the cutting operation, okay. See here, the grains which actually taking part in the material removal process are called as the active grains. Now here you can see these one, two, three, these grains are taking part in the cutting operation. Here see the small chips are being removed. We can call it as the active grains. And these active grains, so gradually doing the machining operation, what will happen with them? They are going to wear out and become blunt, isn't it? And when they are we have worn out or become blunt, so this results into the larger forces on these active grains during the machining process. So what happened next? So when the cutting edge is too blunt and the forces is sufficiently high, so the grain may get either fractured or break away from the wheel. And when the fracture takes place, the new sharp cutting edges are generated, and when the whole grain is removed, the new grains become exposed to the cutting operation and become the active. So this thing actually, so used grains are worn out, they get fractured, they get breakaway, and they got replaced by the new cutting edges or the new grains, rather you can say. So this behavior of the grinding wheel gives this process as a self-sharpening characteristic. Which characteristics? Self-sharpening characteristics. See here, so both bonding strength, which dictates the maximum force a grain can withstand, is the important characteristic, of course. So maximum force which can be withstand by the grain is very important characteristic for the grinding wheel. And the strength of the wheel normally termed as a grade of the wheel, very important, please remember, the strength of the wheel is normally termed as the grade of the wheel. Now, because of the nature of the process, very hot and small chips are produced during the machining operation. And what happened when these small chips are getting removed at very high temperature, because they are very hot, they are get welded or adhere onto the grit, or normally you can say the abrasive grains are known as a grit, okay. Either on the grit or on the workpiece, these small very hot chips are getting welded or get adhere. So moreover, because of random grid orientation, the number of grids may have large negative rake angles. You can see here the tools or the grains having the large negative angles up to the negative 60 to 80 degree rake angle is there. So because of that, what happened? So as the you are going on increasing the rake angle, we already discussed it. When you are goes on increasing this back rake angle or simply rake angle in the negative side, so that is going to increase the rubbing characteristic, rubbing between the workpiece and tool. So point contact getting converted into point line contact, so there is more rubbing action. So that's why, and definitely the thrust is maximum. So here same thing I mentioned. So many of the grids have the large rake angles, negative rake angles. That's why they are getting rubbed on the workpiece. So rubbing is there rather than the cutting operation. Okay, so this makes the grinding inefficient compared to the other machining process from the point of view of specific cutting energy. Yes, because maximum rubbing action is there, what is happened, thrust is there. So we have learned the horizontal cutting force FH and the vertical cutting force FC or FE or FT. So here thrust FT is maximum. If you look at the ratio of the thrust force to the cutting force FT by FC, it is almost equal to 2.5. Means generally in maximum cutting operations, the cutting force is always greater than the thrust force. But in grinding operation, you can now see that the FT is almost equal to 2.5 times of FC. So the thrust is maximum. That is the reason why the specific cutting energy is very high in this grinding operation. And you know what is mean by specific cutting energy? That is work done divided by MRR. So definitely, why this is specific cutting energy high? Because MRR is very low in grinding operation. So definitely, do not denominator is maximum. Then obviously this entire ratio, that is work done divided by MRR, will be maximum, and that ratio is nothing but our specific cutting energy. We have already seen in chapter number 1. Okay, so that's the thing in grinding operation.